Imagine a future where AI doesn't replace your role, it enhances it. It takes on the heavy lifting, making your marketing smarter, more efficient, and more impactful. The future is closer than you think. Did you know 80% of marketing executives believe that AI will revolutionize marketing? In this video, I'll show you how AI will continue to transform marketing beyond what we've seen so far. We'll explore the future of AI tools for marketers, how they'll impact our work, and what new possibilities are on the horizon. I've got some really interesting updates for you, so stay tuned until the end to hear all of them. Let's unlock the next era of marketing together. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I've spent over 15 years working in marketing. I also have a degree and a postgraduate degree in marketing, and I was part of a group at the Chartered Institute of Marketing for a while. I'm here to save you time and to explain and simplify marketing. So, what is the AI story so far? In this section, I was going to reel off a long list of AI tools that marketers can use, what you can use them for, what they do, how amazing they are, blah, 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 blah. But let's be real. I know that if you work in marketing, which if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you do, you will have used these before. You know what they do. And if you don't, I will keep this section succinct for you. Basically, every kind of tool or software that you use these days has some kind of AI integration, right? Everyone is doing it now. Everything you use, they're going to generate something, even if it's just a little description of some tiny little project management tool you're using. They want to generate these descriptions for you. Everything has it. And honestly, some of the AI tools as they are now, they're not quite as good as you think they're going to be. I'm not saying they're bad. They're definitely helpful, and I definitely use them every single day. But when you think about these tools, you imagine, oh, they're going to do all my work for me. They're going to write my blog posts for me, my content calendar, my social posts. Everything's just going to be magically done. They're not bad by any means, but most of these AI tools are about the level of using a new employee or an intern, is somebody that doesn't really understand the business that well, but they can generate something generic. They can generate a rough plan. It's like if you first start working, if you're in a business or if you're somebody that works with clients, when you first start working with that business or on that business, you don't really understand the business right at the start. You can sort of give them some generic plan, or you can write some generic copy. You can write something that sounds pretty good. Like, it does sound good, but it has that lack of understanding, maybe a slight lack of understanding of the industry, maybe like an understanding of the company. So the stuff you produce is good, it's fine, and everyone's happy, but the client has to get involved and has to, edit things to make them right for the brand. And you have to understand more about the company, or if it's your manager, they need to edit things in a certain way. And you're sort of doing that for a few months at the start as you get to know this client or this business and understand more. And then after a while, once you know how to do things and you start to inject your own style in it a little bit, you don't need to have all these checks all the time. That's a bit like how the AI tools are at the minute. Things like ChatGPT, Claude, which I haven't really used. I've heard that that's better actually than ChatGPT and Jasper. They're very good at giving you a good starting point for all of this content. So if you're writing a blog post, you can get a good outline. You can get lots of ideas there, lots of starting points. And then a human needs to go in and edit all of these things. And if you don't edit them and you just send everything, or you just publish everything as it is, it just sounds a bit robotic. It just doesn't sound like it's really part of a company. It's going to sound different to other wording that might be on a website or other documents. Not going to sound the same. It's not that it is a bad job. I'd say a lot of the time it's maybe 70% there, right? It's not bad, but you have got to change some things for sure. The other type of AI is the image generation AIs. I've used a few of these, and honestly, they always just come up with weird images. Like, the images that they generate just don't look realistic. There's always something weird. I'm sure you've seen these images of like a server and she's holding a tray and she's got 7 fingers on her hands, or you've seen people shaking hands and they're shaking with the arms, and there's all these weird things that the image generation AIs come up with, and you can see straight away that it's an AI image. It's very obvious. They just have this weird sort of like futuristic look about them. At the minute, you can't replace the image generated AI images with a real photo. And then you've got things like ads. For example, Google ads, they now have more AI in there. They previously to having this actual AI, they had optimizations in there. But what I found is that in general, if you know the business well, you would be better doing those optimizations yourself, because the Google version, again, with the Google optimization, it's sort of giving generic advice based on what other companies have done, but every company is different. Every landing page and keywords that are going to work, they're going to work for one business, they don't work for another. I think the data at the minute is still too generic, and it hasn't quite got to the point of really working out what will work for a campaign. So I usually take that advice with a pinch of salt, like the AI advice you get in Google Ads. And then social media platforms, they also have the generative AI as well. Like, I tried it the other day, the LinkedIn one, and yeah, it just sounds robotic still. I'll give you an example. The posts that tend to do well on LinkedIn are these, they'll have something shocking at the start, they tend to be quite long, there's something emotional, and even the AI on LinkedIn hasn't quite got that yet, which is really strange, because you would think the social media platform, they would know which posts do well. And it's like they've used the generic, which is probably what they have done, right? They've used the generic AI language learning models, and they've just put that into LinkedIn. At the minute, I think still it's still the same. It's okay. Like, it gives you a start, but you have to edit it. You've got to add your personality or add the brand. You have to edit these things to make them actually sound realistic. And then there are social media tools where they're analyzing your performance. Now, they always kind of had analytics anyway, but now it's looking a bit more at the performance analytics. I think it's starting to get there. I think there's more that will come. Okay, so the conclusion is they can do a lot of basic work, but you definitely still need to go in and edit everything. Okay, so now the exciting part. Let's talk about the future of these AI tools and what will happen, what we expect to see in the next few months or years. So I've been absorbing a lot of content on AI, podcasts, videos, blogs, and I was listening to an AI expert who said that the thing about AI is that it will only get better. It can't get any worse. It's learning, it's absorbing more data, so things will only get better, which is really exciting. And the cost per token is getting cheaper. They say that by the end of the year, it's going to be about 1/8 the cost it is now. But that's the cost for developers. So I don't think that cost will be directly passed on to consumers, unfortunately. Another thing that is coming up with Google is that Google Workspaces are going to add virtual employees to the workspace. So you'll be able to do things like ask it, I'm going to present a pitch to this client. Here's some information about their company. Based on my previous slide decks, can you create a presentation for me that you think would be suitable for this company? So it's based on the data or the documents that you have already, but the idea is that it will be able to create something, based on what you already have. And that's kind of the thing with all of these AI tools at the minute, is that they're trained on data. So coming up with something completely new and creative is difficult because it's not human brain, right? And that's where obviously humans have the advantage that we actually have a brain that can come up with creative things and, amazing stuff. And in marketing, we obviously need to be creative with things. But it can save you time by using the information that you already have to create more. So that's the way that we should be looking at all of these tools, is how can we use the data that we have, the documents, or the information we have to create something else that we know will work. We've got something here that works. Let's repeat it again and do it quickly. That's how to use AI really well. The next one is hyper-personalization at scale. And what that means is that soon AI should be able to create really personalized content based off micro segments. So, for example, if you've got personas where you can really nail down the certain job title, the certain problems they have, you could take something like a case study or even a blog or a download, and you could use the AI to update that content based on the persona's specific problems and needs, meaning that it would just be a lot quicker to do really good personalization, and it will make the customer journey feel a lot more personalized and engaging. And we know that personalization works really well in marketing. The next one is about content creation. Now, obviously the AI tools are creating content at the minute, but soon, in the not too distant future, should be in the near future, the marketing tools that we use for content creation should be getting even better. So I really hope the image generation tools improve, but also the content creation tools will get better at understanding brand voice, knowing more about, the industry and the people it's talking to. And what I think would be really cool is for some more like marketing specific tools, because it's like they're kind of there at the minute. I think, if they can really create tools that marketers can use, that would be so exciting. So, for example, tools that really understand the brand voice. They ask you about the personas, they ask you about the target audience, they know what each piece of content, who each piece of content is targeted to. They know the brand voice, they know the industry. Creating really good content easily would be amazing for these AI tools. Next is about predictive analysis. So what AI is gearing towards now is taking the data from trends, taking information that you have in the business and being able to use that to predict the future. So, for example, if you have run Black Friday campaigns for the past few years, it will be able to take the data and the information it has on those campaigns, which social posts performed well, which emails at which times meant that people were using the coupons or using the discount codes in order to buy, when did they buy more, which emails worked, which social posts worked, etc. Based on that, it will then be able to create you a content calendar of social posts and tell you when to schedule them as well for the most impact. So using these kind of tools to predict the future and to create content will be really exciting, because it will make marketing much more effective. And this is the thing with a lot of AI, and the way it works is that it's based on data that you have. So if you don't have the data to use, it will only be able to give you information about generics that other people in the industry or maybe other industries. It's going to give you sort of generic information. Where it's going to work really well is when it's got lots of information from your business, from your client's business, however you're working, and using the information that it has, come up with something for the future that should work, we hope. Remember, we still got to have human interaction, right? Side note, I think when you think about AI, it's a bit like a car. Without the driver in the car, you're not going to go anywhere. So they are tools that we can use, hopefully to save time and to be more effective, but we have to program it. We have to tell it what to do. It's not going to be something currently, maybe in the future, let's see, but it's not going to be something that will just take your job, I don't think anyway. Next is the voice and visual search optimization. So as you may know, voice and visual search optimization is being used a lot more now. And in the not so distant future, what AI will be able to do, we hope, is take something like an existing blog post and optimize it for voice search and visual search. And it will be able to do all of that for you, so you're hitting all of these different ways to access customers. The next part is about ethical and data privacy concerns. Obviously, with more AI being used, people start to get concerned about the ethics of using something like this rather than a person writing it, or data privacy concerns. When you're giving information to a company, is the AI storing everything? Is it then going to give it to somebody else? There's all these concerns around it. So what we can do is we need to build trust. We need to make sure that it's really clear, things like privacy policy, opt-ins, that all the information is there. If you're using AI in content, and you could do things like offering opt-ins for personalized AI content. Now, obviously, the trade-off is that the AI content should be better, should be more personalized. So that should be an advantage for somebody for getting that kind of information. So what we'll have to do in the future is make it clear where data is being used, as we do already, where AI content is being used, and potentially give people the option to opt in to AI personalized content or not. And in theory, they should be happy to do this, we hope, because the AI content should be better, should be more personalized. It's going to take a while to get to that point, I'm sure, but hopefully at some point we'll get to that point and people will actually prefer to have personalized content. I know I prefer to see something that's personalized, like an ad, super relevant to me, not just generic to somebody else. I mean, we have to see what happens, public opinion, but there are ways that, we can offer people the choice, basically. Okay, and the last part to mention is that AI will become more widely adopted by companies, especially smaller companies, where they can use this resource to get more done. They can generate more content. If they haven't got a full-time marketing resource in the company, they can start to use this to help them to generate things. Of course, we're going to see situations where just AI content is being used without any input, and that's not going to look good, but hopefully companies will use the AI. So what's exciting with small businesses is that they'll be able to create things like seasonal content much more easily and help them to really stay agile and stay on top of trends. And, hopefully it'll help small businesses to compete with larger ones, which I think is really, really exciting and interesting. So in conclusion, us as marketers, we need to embrace AI as a tool, not a replacement. Will it replace marketers? No, I don't think so. But what we need to do is look at the tools and see how we can use them to really make our marketing plans come alive. You know that in marketing, there's always so many things you can do. There's so many tasks that you have on board. Other people, have ideas as well, and you've always got a full list of things that need to be done. So with that in mind, think about your plans, your strategy, and see how you can use AI tools to achieve your goals faster. AI should be a tool that will complement human creativity and strategic thinking. So go and look at the tools available, try them out, see what they can do. And remember that in the next 6 to 12 months, we should see even better tools coming on the market, lots of improvements. There's lots of exciting things ahead. So if you haven't looked into it already, please do. And if you have, but you've been a bit disappointed, keep looking and exploring in the next few months, because things should start to improve even more than they have already. Please, can you do one thing for me? Click the like button if you found this helpful. And for more marketing advice, click subscribe. Finally, please check out my latest video, which you can see here. Thanks for watching, and here's to your marketing success.